Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high, and meme coins have been going absolutely crazy. But I know you must be wondering what exactly is going to happen next, partially to Bitcoin, but most importantly for altcoins. So give me just a few minutes to tell you what happened previous times, why this time is so unique for Bitcoin, and what I think will happen next. But first, make sure you press that like button because it's all-time high day. I mean, come on, let's just get those likes to an all-time high as well. Anyway, during our live stream, we analyzed a very interesting avenue, which was the average correction that Bitcoin made after hitting a new all-time high and the shorts potential. So what we established and what we noticed is that every single time that Bitcoin freshly hit a new all-time high, the price had a pretty massive correction. Right now, we're down roughly 10 point something %, which is pretty significant. But I'll talk in a second about more on that, just more. I mean, as a baseline, you could say the S&P today saw some significant decline, which obviously translates over. If the S&P goes up, very often it's similar to Bitcoin. If the S&P goes down, very often it is similar for Bitcoin. Anyway, as a baseline, I'll tell you this, that if we look at all the numbers from BlackRock, etc., the guys are buying more than ever before, and the standard level of buying is so high nowadays that it's really hard to consider a very low priced Bitcoin. What would make sense though is some sort of reset of the leverage, which I think is what we're partially seeing right now. I think that our trading range as it stands right now is significantly bigger than a lot of you guys might realize. Even if we fall towards 60,000, nothing really changes too much. And I'd say as long as we stay above 50, the leverage situation is not going to spiral too much out of control because of what happened prior. Let's take a little bit of a look. So let's first take a look at 2013. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, $1,126 or so dollars, perhaps ever so slightly higher. Here on this chart, it's $1,175. So let's just put that as the all-time high, $1,175. The next moment that we hit those prices was right here in January of 2017. And you can see the moment that we breached that line, which is supposed to be at roughly $1,175, but let's just say that we basically came across the all-time high right here. We topped it just like we did right now. And afterwards, just quickly, we fell, let's see it here, roughly 37% in 6 days. But more importantly, that exact same day, similar to right now, we fell about 27% from $1,167 to $850. So a massive dip. And over the next couple of days, we fell back down. However, as you can see from that correction, which is normal in bull markets, we were up 76% in the next month and a bit to just continue on crazier and crazier throughout the next few months, hitting the new all-time high. The new all-time high was roughly a year after the S&P made its all-time high, and the S&P made its all-time high a couple months ago. So we also expect the new all-time high to be in a couple months from now. But I digress. Here it hit $19.8 thousand in about December of 2017, 17th of December, let's say. And if we scroll to the future over on Bitfinex, the second next time, right, in the new cycle, we hit that number was right here, roughly, in this 1st of December 2020. And afterwards, the price fell roughly 7.5% in a few hours. And over the next few days, fell roughly 12% before, again, continuing on with massive gains throughout the next couple of weeks. Right? I think it's all becoming apparent to you guys. And then right here in 2021, we hit an all-time high, let's say November 10th, 2021. And right now, the first time we got to that price level, we again now have fallen, what? Let's quickly check it out. Roughly 12 or so % since hitting that level. And most likely, as I think, we will, we don't know exactly what's going to happen in this little middle area, but we will see crazy upside throughout the next couple of months to come, like all the previous times. The only time that makes this so different, the only thing I should say, is that we are very early to all of this. I mean, if we look back at cycle 1, right? So the 2013 situation, we saw an all-time high, then we saw the halving, and then a couple months in, we saw the all-time high hit, breakdown, and break of the all-time high towards a new all-time high. Then again, we saw 80% correction, we saw a halving, and then we saw the retesting of all-time high, then a break, and then a new all-time high. Then here, 80% down, we have the all-time high and then the halving. Point being, this time we had the all-time high and a breakdown before even seeing the halving, where it usually happens around, let's say, September or so of 2024, or a couple months into the halving. Right now, it happened about a month or so before. So it's an anomaly, it's something weird, it's something strange, and people don't know how to act. And right now, I think that's what's causing the crypto market to fall hard, as right now we are at, what, 59,000? You can see things are falling down very, very significantly over the past couple of hours. And in my opinion, it makes sense as people are very worried. Funds took profit as Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high. You can see right now, this is like 30 seconds afterwards, we're back to 60.5. There's just crazy amounts of speculation across the board. Many people are panicking, thinking this is the next highest point forever, which in theory is possible. But that idea is making people fearful, thinking that things will only continue down from here. But my personal thoughts are, and again, I may be wrong, is that right now, since we hit an all-time high, people are panicking, but that if we take a look at this over the next few weeks, we'll be up by a ton again. Once more, at some point, Bitcoin will top out. It could be that because we went so fast, we need to stay down for a bit, like a month or two. But as the halving hits, I do not believe we can stay down for that much longer. Again, my thoughts, my own personal thoughts, not financial advice. Kind of funny to look at the CME, for example, as well, hitting $70,000 and then hitting like $62,000 in that same little span. Back to 61,000, by the way. Look at how fast things are moving, huh? We're seeing crazy moves across the board, man. This is just wild. And now if you're trading with leverage, I really wonder how you're doing, because this is just insanity. We're moving up and down by such margins. Let's see. Down 15% in roughly 5 hours, and up what? Let's see here. 3.5% in like 1.5 minutes. So what does this mean for altcoins, simply put? First of all, that right now we're seeing a little bit of bleeding. And the simple story there is, as long as Bitcoin is not in a good spot, people are fearful of their more volatile bags, which is why if Bitcoin is down 5% over an hour, it's not strange to see your coins like Ethereum, Solana, XRP, whatever, being down more than that in 1 hour. I can tell you now, though, that the last couple of weeks have been full bull market vibes. And this point here is really refreshing for a lot of people to realize what I've said for so long, is that you will see massive gains throughout a bull market, but you will also have days of fear, days of bleeding markets is the best way I can put it, where you're just not that happy and things just don't go the way you plan them to go. So point just being, though, since altcoin season comes a little bit after Bitcoin goes nuts and people want to go for crazier and crazier gains, but right now the memes were going so fast for such a while that a correction was due at some point to shake people back into reality. I think give it a few days, give it a few weeks, and things would just keep going on crazy runs, which is why I'm still just buying the altcoins I know and love. Even though I'm not buying them for today or tomorrow, I'm buying them for a little while. I don't mind that, because to me, us hitting this new all-time high, and I looked, oh, my camera might be a bit stuck, but I looked at the comment section and some people said, Dusty, Bitcoin didn't hit an all-time high. Well, it did. I think if we give this a little bit of time, we're going to forget all about this dip, because if you look back at the history, I don't think I have it open right now perfectly, but it happens every single time in bull markets. I think I can show you like this. Here we go. Here, for example, we hit a new high point at 60-something thousand. People were ecstatic. And then the price moved what? Down 55% over the next little bit. But specifically, after hitting that point, you can see we're down 30% in the next day or so, right? In the next couple of weeks, or next week even, just 1 week. And throughout this journey of hitting new high points, you can see how often it comes back down. Here it's down 22%. Here, for example, it is down what? 13%. Here, throughout the journey upwards, it is down 31%. If you can't handle this drawdown, if you can't handle us hitting a little peak for a bit and coming back down, you'll not be able to handle all the gains either. Get used to it, realize that it's not up only, there will have to be corrections, otherwise it's unsustainable, and realize that the guys at BlackRock and all these other guys are pushing it so hard, they're buying like crazy. You buying as well, or you still being bullish, just kind of shows what the major institutions also think is smart, and I don't think these guys really miss. But yeah, that's just my own 2 cents. Just quickly checking if there's a new post on here. 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 has seen almost 10 billion in outflows, yet has the same amount of assets it did on launch day. Seems like magic, but it's the bull market subsidy, and same physics keep outflow ridden. Active equity mutual funds with massive assets still, albeit Mirage. Why? Since customers have left, but who cares? Revenue is still real. Point being, Ethereum fees are going to be coming up. I don't know why I pointed to this one. I was just thinking I was thinking about it all of a sudden. Bitcoin ETFs just keep pumping up in terms of the volume. Eric says volume for the Bitcoin, this is like an hour ago, for the Bitcoin 10 is really intense again today. Over 6 billion traded. For context, that's more than Microsoft has traded. With a couple of hours left to go, probably going to beat last Wednesday's record, all in the top 15 most active ETFs today. And as of this point, they're still at a net positive. These guys are just buying, buying, buying. The selling, probably profit taken from traders. I mean, it was ripping up like 40% in 5-6 days, near impossible to maintain that. But if we give it a little bit more time, I do believe the direction is mainly just going to be upwards. Short term, man, crypto's a wild ride, huh? But you guys have all made it. We hit an all-time high. Hopefully altcoins are very soon to come next. I hope you guys will stick with me though throughout the journey, and I hope you guys are enjoying every single part of it. In bull market, you have corrections. If you didn't, yeah, it wouldn't be a proper bull market. It'd be a bubble of sorts, I guess, huh? If you did enjoy the video, make sure you press that like button, and I hope to see you guys again in another crypto video later today. And I think I'll still just do an update on cool stuff that I think is huge. Even though prices are coming down and people are negative, I still will come out with some cool content. So make sure you stick around, make sure you press that like button, and let's see what's going to happen next.